What's going on, everybody? KWolfe back here with you with another video. I know it's been a while, but it is that time again. It is the 97th running of the International 6 Days of Enduro, the FIM ISDE, and I wanted to give you guys a breakdown on who's racing and what the teams look like. Not everybody, but the key teams across the World Trophy, Junior Trophy, and the Women's World Trophy classifications. This year, they're in San Juan, Argentina. I am not there again this year, unfortunately, but I will be providing updates to you guys during the course of the event. It is Friday as I am recording this, and the event starts Monday, so follow along with my updates. There is going to be live timing that you can view and follow along as the riders reach each special test of each day. How the format works, if you're unfamiliar with ISDE, there are 5 days of special test racing. This year, compared to previous years, well, actually in line with most years, it's on a loop system. 6 special tests per day, 3 individual special tests, each run twice for all 5 days, and then on the 6th day, a final moto, usually around 10 to 12 minutes for each group, and that will conclude, makes up the racing at the International 6 Days of Enduro. The rules, as far as I know, are unchanged from the previous year. All scores count, whether it's World Trophy, Junior Trophy, or Women's Trophy. 4 riders for World Trophy, 3 each for the Junior and for the women. All scores count. Last year, I believe, was the first year that the women counted all 3 scores. So if you lose a rider, you're out. That's pretty much done unless everybody does it, in which case everything resets. But you have to be in it to win it. In the past, you could afford to lose a rider, sometimes 2 when there used to be 6. But now, all bets are off. Every rider's score counts, so everybody has to put in good rides and be in contention. Let's move right into the list. We're going to start with the World Trophy classification. I have my laptop set up here next to me with the list, so if I veer away from the camera a little bit, that is why. But we're going to take a look at the defending champs for the first time ever with the number 1s. Great Britain, they're going to bring in Jamie McCanny, a past veteran rider. He was there all the way back in 2016 in Spain when I first covered the ISDE. Following him will be Jed Etchells. Jed's a fairly newcomer. I believe he's raced the ISDE before. I can't remember exactly, but he's more of one of the new guys on the team. With him is Nathan Watson. Nathan's going to be very fast. And then Alex Snow. Snow is another unknown to me. I believe he's a regular in the British Enduro Championships. But as far as Great Britain goes, very strong team. 2 veterans with Watson and McCanny. They're going to be representing a very strong team to defend their title. One other thing to note along with the rules. In the past, there have been classifications E1, E2, and E3. Same with the club riders, and I will get into our club riders, our American club riders, later in the video. Those are based on displacement. Those classes are based on displacement. That rule is thrown out. It used to be you had to have a rider represented in all 3 classes, which usually meant your 4th rider in recent years ran either the E1 or more commonly the E2 class, which is your 350s and your 450s. But now all bets are off. They are including the classifications. I don't know what everybody's running. It's not listed on the rider list, but you do not have to field a team in every class during this event. So that's something to note. So I'd say most guys are going to be running that 250, 350. The Japanese branded riders will be on 450s more than likely. The European branded, the KTM group, will probably be on 350s, a lot of them, including our guys. So Great Britain, McCanny, Etchells, Watson, Snow, they're going to go after their championship once again. They won it for the first time ever last year in 2022. They're looking to defend in 2023. Moving on next, 2nd place last year, Italy. Italy comes in with multiple World Enduro Championships, including their top rider, Andrea Verona. Verona's going to be fast. He's going to be mixing up for individual special test wins and going after the overall outright championship. So Verona will be fast. Backing him up will be Kevin Cristino. Cristino is a veteran. Even back before I started covering this event, Cristino was part of the Italian team. Italy and France, they usually have a very deep rider field to work from. More than what we know about from the news that we get over here from Enduro GP and the like. Italy and France, they usually have a plentiful, talent pool of riders to pull from. With them is Morgan Leciardo. Don't know anything about him, so I'm going to believe he's a newcomer. He'll be the rookie to the team this year, so Leciardo will be the third man on the team. And then the fourth rider on the Italian team, former world motocross racer Samuele Bernardini. Bernardini will be fast. He's got the speed. And then look for him in the final moto on day 6 on Saturday. Bernardini will be fast and he will be competitive in his individual class. Moving on to third, Spain. They've got great leadership with Cristobal Guerrero leading the team. Guerrero is a longtime veteran of the ISDE. Great dude, but he will be heading up the efforts for Spain. And that includes Sergio Navarro. Not really aware of him. I think he's a rookie this year as well. Jean Betrieu, he will be fast. He was a very surprising rider in Italy back in 2021 as the makeup race from the COVID ISDE, but Betrieu is going to be very fast. Betrieu is consistent, and that's where he's going to come in. He's got the speed to go along with the consistency to hold up Spain's end for this ISDE. Alejandro Navarro, another relatively young rider coming into the fray. So Spain's looking at a young team. They've got the experience with Betrieu, along with their fourth rider, the multi-time and defending, again, outright individual winner, Josep Garcia, the multi-time world enduro champion. Garcia is an all-around rider. If you don't know who he is, go follow him on social media. Garcia is fast. Great kid. I met him years ago in Spain when I first covered the event. He was a junior rider and took third overall outright, and he's only improved since then, winning, I believe, 3 individual titles now. So Navarro, Betrieu, Navarro, and Garcia will be rounding out the 4-rider team for Spain. Moving on to France, pretty veteran team when it comes to France. Théo Espinasse, who's been junior the last few years. This is either his first or it might be his second year racing in the World Junior or the World Trophy classification, excuse me. Very fast rider. Théo is going to be one to watch. Léo Lecure, same thing, very fast. French riders are fast, no matter the conditions. It's going to be different next week in Argentina. It's a little bit softer conditions compared to what they're used to riding on, on the hard pack back in France. But Lecure, very, very fast. Like I said, this French team is very capable of winning this thing overall. Loic Lerieux, an overall outright winner in the past, including back in the home nation of France in 2017. Lerieux is going to be mixing it up with Garcia, with Verona for individual special test, wins. And then Julian Rosali, don't know really anything about him. I think he's a rookie this year, at least on the World Trophy stage. So, 3 veterans mixed with a rookie, but France still has a very strong team heading into Argentina next week. Moving on to the United States. And before I get into the rest of this team, Taylor Robert, a former individual winner outright back in 2016 in Spain. Fortunately, I was, there to witness it and document it. He just announced before recording this that after next week, this will be his final professional race on a motorcycle. He's still going to continue racing, still going to be involved in the industry, but as far as professionally and chasing after championships on the pro level, whether it be international such as ISDE or out west with Hare and Hound or any of the other West Coast series out there that he's always run, he will not be chasing those professionally anymore. But Taylor, I want to say thank you for all the memories. Thank you for the friendship. And I'm glad I was there to document a lot of your success at the ISDE and hang out with you and get to know you, your wife, and your family, your parents. So it's been a privilege and an honor, and I wish you the best of luck this week and moving forward into your career. But Taylor Robert is the lead rider. Like I said, individual outright winner in 2016. He's a multiple-time class winner throughout the ISDE, 3 years straight. He was a class winner in the ISDE. Even if he wasn't the individual outright winner, he was still individually a class winner, whether it was E2 or E3. So Taylor, and he said in his retirement video, you can check that out on Instagram. In his retirement video, he says he's feeling better than he ever has on the motorcycle. So that's a good sign heading into next week. And hopefully Taylor can put in some good results and make a strong effort for Team USA for the overall win. Joining him will be Johnny Gerard. This will be Johnny's second time, maybe third time representing ISDE, representing USA at the ISDE. You know, he had some medical issues going on at the beginning of the year that kind of hindered his results on the GNCC side of things. He still represented well in the Sprint Enduro Series, but Johnny is still capable rider. Short tests, you know, at the longest, 10 minutes, 12 minutes for an individual special test in the middle of the week. But Gerard will be very quick, you know, next week in the sand, which he is comfortable riding in. Dante Oliveira, second year rider on the World Trophy team. Dante's going to be fast. He rides in the soft soil a lot. I know there's a lot of hard pack out west, but he does have experience running in the sand and in those soft conditions out west as well. Dante will be fast. He's proven fast whether he's on trophy, junior trophy, or club. Dante will be very fast, and he was the only one to break up the Verona and Garcia special test win collaboration at ISDE in France last year. So Dante will be quick. Rounding out the team, Cole Martinez. Second running for Cole at the ISDE. The first year he did it was 2021 back in Italy. Hung out with him quite a bit. Got to know him. Great rider. He's the former Supercross and motocross racer. He gets the call up to be the World Trophy rider this year for USA on a Honda. So he will be very fast. And he's been putting in the work. He's been training. He had a mid-season injury that kept him out of Loretta Lynn's and stuff. Nothing serious, but he's been putting the work in, and he's ready to go for ISDE. We're gonna go to Chile. An experienced team here. Might be a little bit of a caveat with their lineup. Benjamin Herrera, he was over here the last few years, and he's represented well for Chile in the past, including in Chile back in 2018. He will be fast. I don't know if this is a relation or not, but Camilo, however you say it, Herrera, same last name. I don't know if they're related or not, but I've never heard of him before. Obviously, we don't get a lot of news of riders coming out of South America, whether it's Argentina, South America, Brazil, what have you. Don't get a lot of info on them unless they come up here. Third rider on the list, Rui Barbosa. I don't think he's racing. He's on the list, and they only released this list last week, but I find it kind of interesting. He's on the list. He had that mid-season, that off-season injury during GNCC towards Achilles, same as Eli Tomac did, and he's been rehabbing, he's been recovering, and I haven't seen any indication on his social media or anything where he's actually at the event. So I think Barbosa is a scratch. I don't know who they're going to get to replace him, but Herrera is still going to be fast. He'll put in a top 5 time here and there, I believe. And yeah, Herrera's going to be quick. That's the whole point of this. Herrera will be fast. And then rounding out the team, Sebastian Tavernet. I feel like he's raced 6 days before. I didn't go back and look at the results to make sure. There's so many results over the years and so many riders to comb through. But Chile individually with Herrera, he'll put in good results. I don't think Chile has a chance of getting on the podium, but if nothing else, they're going to have a huge fan base. Chilean fans are probably some of the most fun fan base. If you ever happen to go to this event for any reason, go hang out with the Chileans. They're a lot of fun. We're going to move past Venezuela. I'm going to go, the last team on the list for the World Trophy is going to be Canada. An experienced team here, Philippe Cheney, longtime veteran of ISDE. Canada's not going to be in the running for any overall awards by any means, but they do this out of pride of country. They raise their own funds to get over there. You know, they don't get a whole lot of help from the CMA, the Canadian Motorcycle Association. So they do this purely out of pride, and they do their fundraising to get their riders over there, and that's for all 3 of their trophy teams. Joining him will be Owen McKill, another fast rider from the Canadian Enduro Series, since that's what they have up there. That FMSQ, I believe, is the series up there. But not the strongest rider. He's not the champion of that series. I believe Cheney still is. But still a strong rider. He'll be good. He'll put in results. Tyler Medaglia, the motocross legend up in Canada. He'll be going back again. He'll be mixing it in for the overall win, or the final special test win in the motocross on day 6. Medaglia is also obviously a fast motocross rider, and he will be he'll be mixing it up there for that special test win. If there's anything more, grass track style, kind of technical a little bit, kind of tight, maybe if there's a moto track thrown in somewhere, I doubt it, but if there is, Medaglia might get a special test win in there. And then rounding out the 4-rider team for Canada is Jared Stock. He's been the ISDE before. Don't really know a lot about him, but Cheney and McKill and Medaglia all showed up to GNCCs this year. So not the, that's their strongest team, I believe. I believe they have their strongest team unless they start pulling from motocross, which doesn't really happen that often except for Medaglia. But no, they've got a strong, based on their off-road experience and Medaglia's experience, they've got a strong team. It's not a winning team, but it's still a strong team. And like I said, they go for country pride for this event. Moving on to the Junior World Trophy. These teams go in order of how the World Trophy teams finish. So these aren't how the teams finished last year. They fall in line with the World Trophy standings. So first up is Great Britain. Charlie Chatter, I believe is how you say his name. Don't really know anything about him. Along with Max Ingham. Harry Edmondson, I've heard his name in the past. It's not Jack Eddy, who's been over here, who we know. But Harry's fast. I believe he won one of the World Enduro Championships either this year or might have been last year. I can't remember exactly. But Edmondson will be quick for juniors. I don't know anything about Chatter or Ingham, but they'll be fast. It'll be a fast team. Like I said, Edmondson will represent strong. Moving on to Italy, Valentino Corsi. Like I said, a lot of these overseas riders are, we don't get the news over here. We don't, unless they're running Enduro GP, which I don't know what happened, but that series kind of fell off with getting their news over here. A few years ago, we knew who everybody was, but lately, the last couple of years, don't really know anything, so I can't, and there's only so much you can find out on social media from these guys. But Valentino Corsi is the first rider for Italy. Manello Moratini, same thing. I think he's raced ISDE before. And then Enrico Rinaldi, same thing. I think it's a very young team for Italy. And juniors is 23 and under anyway. So very young team, but you can race this event when you're 16. You can't race it when you're 15, but you can race it when you're 16. Moving on to France, Thibaut Giraudon, another young rider. Young team for France. Antoine Alice, I think he's raced it before. So he's got the experience on the team. And then joining them, Leo Joyon. I think I said that right. But yeah, another young team for France. Then we move into the United States. An experienced team. Two experienced riders that have done ISDE in the past. Mateo Oliveira. Mateo is going to be very fast. He might even pull out some wins for, pull out special test wins within the junior classification. I don't know if he's gonna do overall wins with the talent level that's up in the World Trophy teams, but as far as juniors go, he's got the potential to be right up there winning the junior classification on special test and being the top junior rider. So watch for Mateo if you're watching the live timing. Kai Aiello is second ISDE. He raced club last year on the winning XC Gear Club team. He will be racing his first junior World Trophy team at ISDE. Kai, a former motocross racer, really fast out west. So he'll be joining Oliveira in the junior trophy. And then a rookie this year, Grant Davis, coming from the GNCC side of things and the National Enduro side. Young kid, 19 years old, I believe. But this is his first ISDE, so Grant's going to get thrown right into the wolves on this one. A thing to note with Argentina, very dry, very soft. I saw footage yesterday from some of the club riders that were out there, in photos, and I saw other social media accounts that were posting, European riders as well as locals to the Argentinian area. Very dry, very dusty. It was that way back in 2014. This is the first year we've been back since 2014 in Argentina. 2014, the largest DNF result numbers in all of 6-day history. Even back to 1980 when it was in France, when it was just really nasty, really muddy, there were less DNFs at that race than there were for this dry one, and it was mainly because of the conditions and bikes choking out on dust. So that's going to be something to watch. The good thing, however, though, for all these riders is Because of it being in South America, because of the way the economy is right now across the world, a lot of teams, a lot of countries aren't sending a full boat. We are one of them. USA is one of them that sent a full boat of riders between our 10 trophy riders and our 21 club riders. But other than Argentina and a few other countries providing club riders, there's only about 350 riders. So as far as the special test goes, they're not going to be as beat up as what they normally would be when we've had 5, 6, and even 700 riders in the past racing ISDE. France was a large one. A lot of riders in France. First day, some of our club riders, including Cody Webb, didn't even finish until it was almost dark. They actually had to run their headlights. So only about 350 riders this year at ISDE. So tracks aren't going to get too beat up. Like I said, it's still soft. It's still sandy type soil. But it's going to open up. Everybody's going to open up. And especially when it gets dusty and if the wind's not blowing, the riders are going to be spreading out through the special test so they don't, catch the guy in front of them, especially on the first day. But like I said, back to USA, Oliveira, Aiello, Davis, your 3 riders representing. Sweden, as being unknown like they always come in strong, especially in juniors. Albin Norben, Axel Sem, and Max Alin. Norben and Alin have been there before. They've raced it. I don't know about Sem, but as far as juniors go, sneakily, under the radar, Sweden comes in juniors and does very well every year. Moving on to the Women's World Trophy classification, we're only going to hit on, there's only 8 teams. There's only like 7 or 8 teams, but there's only about 4, maybe 5 that are going to be in contention, that are going to be talked about on the news updates from the FIM. Starting out with the defending champions, Great Britain. After the unfortunate early departure of Brandy Richards after a bad crash last year, Great Britain takes their first win in that one, matching up with the World Trophy team. Rosie Rowett, Nev Holmes, and Elizabeth Tett. Rowett and Holmes have done this race before. Tett, is the rookie for this one. Nev Holmes, she'll be strong. Rowett will be consistent. I don't think they're going to match up to USA based on the team that we're sending. But Rowett, Holmes, Tett, that is your 3-rider lineup for Great Britain. France, Justine Martel, Elodie Chaplot, and Morissette Brisbard. Brisbard, I think, is the rookie on this one, if I'm not mistaken. Martel, Chaplot has been there before. I think Martel has been there before. I could be wrong on that one as well. So if I am, Chaplot is the only experienced rider with ISD. So a very young, very inexperienced team coming into 6 days this year for France. Not the strongest field of riders, not since they brought in Olivia Lancelot back in 2018 for Chile. Not much on the speed, but they're consistent and they're there. Unless they have a mechanical, France will be in there should something befall any of the other teams. Australia, this is a cool story since Australia is such a far distance to Argentina. With the way the world economy is right now, Australia did not elect to field a team of riders this year, whether it be World Trophy or Junior Trophy, and the Women's Trophy team, follow along with them. Great story. They self-funded in order to get over to Argentina this week. Not a lot of help from the Australian Federation and the country itself, just not a lot of money there. I've had numerous talks with people from Australia over the past on if we're ever going to bring that event back there, and they've straight up told me the funding's not there, the support's not there, and the money's not there to bring that event back over. And it's been since the early 90s, I believe, since that race is over there, so pretty much 30 years, I believe, at this point. But a self-funded women's team and a very capable women's World Trophy team. Jessica Gardner, Taylor Jones, Danielle McDonald. Jones and Gardner, of course, very experienced riders. Jones has won this event individually for riding for Australia in the past. I believe Gardner has as well. If Gardner hasn't, she's ridden very strong for Australia and put them in a position to be the most dominant women's team in ISDE history since the inception of the World's Women Trophy classification back in 2007. So Gardner, Jones, McDonald, younger rider. But watch for Australia this week in the Women's World Trophy. They're going to go head-to-head with USA. Canada, Natasha LaChapelle, Felicia Robichaud, and Emma Sharpless. 3 experienced riders with this event. Felicia Robichaud, the newly crowned Canadian Enduro champion up there. They're going to be, Robichaud will be fast. Robichaud, she came down to the last few GNCCs and mixed it up with the women down here. Very fast. Was off the pace a little bit, but she's capable. And that was in a 2-hour race. In these sprints, Robichaud's fast. You know, she's the fastest one on the team. La Chapelle and Sharpless will be backing her up. But Canada's a solid podium contending team. And then USA, same team as last year. Brandy Richards, Corey Steed, Rachel Gudish. Like I had mentioned before, Brandy Steed was in line, dominating, winning every test last year like she had the year before. And unfortunately, a hard crash took her out of the event and took USA out of the chance of winning, since they now count all 3 scores for the women's trophy team. Last year was the first year that they implemented that rule. But Richards will be going for outright individual honors this week. Steed, she will be putting in top times. I know she wants to get in there with Brandy and take some special test wins. Corey's the former motocross racer, so she knows, she feels like she still had the speed. She raced Loretta Lynn's last year. She'll be up front. She was a top 5 rider last year. I know she wants to go for top 3 test times and even special test wins over Brandy should it fall her way in that direction. Rachel Gudish, the longtime veteran, she was actually part of the USA team in Argentina back in 2014. So she has the experience with these conditions. She knows what to expect, as far as the maintenance with the filter changes and everything. They're going to be doing way more air filter changes than they ever have before after what happened 9 years ago. But Rachel, she has been riding better the last 2 years than she has pretty much in her entire career, and she's a well-rounded rider. She does the GNCCs. She's just wrapped up she just won her first Endurocross championship, so congratulations to Rachel for that one. But a solid 3-rider team for USA on the women's side of things. Richards, Steed, and Gudish. And then moving on to Germany, mainly because of one of the riders that has been there before and has won special tests, and that's Maria Franca. She is the lead rider on that team. She's been fast in the past. She hasn't been there in a year or two, at least. I don't even think she was in Italy 2 years ago when I was there. But Maria Franca could win special tests. And since Great Britain's outright winner last year, Jane Daniels, is not there as part of Team Great Britain, I'm not sure what the story is behind that. But with Daniels not being there, should anything happen to Brandy where she's not winning special tests, and if Corey Steed can't do it, Maria Franca could very well win special tests and be fighting for that outright individual women's title. Joining her will be Tanya Schlosser and Samantha Booman. Don't really know anything about those riders at all. All right, and then lastly, moving on to our club team, so you guys are all aware of our riders that are racing in the club classification this week. Like I said, 350 riders roughly, and the high portion of that are Argentinian club riders. So part of the Braptastic.com club team, Preston Campbell, Zach Toth, and Axel Pearson. Campbell and Pearson have done this before. Zach Toth is the rookie, but he knows what to expect. Being the brother of Josh Toth, he knows what to expect from this race. So I feel like that team, that Braptastic.com team of Campbell, Toth, and Pearson will be very strong. The Eric Cleveland Memorial team, Nolan Kate, Kyle Tishner, and this is an interesting one, Ava Silvestri. As far as I know, this is the first time a woman has gone over on a club team, and Silvestri did it legitimately. She ran the qualifying process out west and legitimately qualified herself to be on a club team this year for Argentina. So hats off to Ava Silvestri. Follow along with her on social media, give her some support, and really cool story. Like I said, I know the idea has been tossed around in the past of doing a women's club team. It hasn't transpired at all, but for Ava to qualify legitimately and become a member of a club team at ISDE, very good accomplishment. So congrats to you, Ava Silvestri. We'll be watching you. But Kate Titchener and Silvestri on that Eric Cleveland Memorial team. GTBN, Thorne Devlin, Jaden Donners, and Nathan Ferderer. I don't think Thorne's done this race before. I think every time that he's intended to do this race, he's gotten hurt. So I'm not entirely sure if he's ever actually done it before. I know he's put the prep in numerous times over the years, but I don't think he's ever actually made it due to injuries. So he'll be the rookie essentially. But Thorne's an experienced rider. He'll be fine at his first ISDE. And then Jaden Donner's racing his first ISDE a year or two ago. And then Nathan Furter, I think this is Nate's 7th, 8th ISDE, which very good accomplishment for him. So watch out for Team GTBN of Devlin, Donners, and Furterer. The Missouri Mudders team, Cade Henderson, Jack Walker, Trevor Maley. Henderson is the experienced rider on this team. He'll be joined up by 2 rookies, Walker and Maley. So very fast. Jack Walker doing really well in the XC3 class at the GNCCs this year, and I believe he won the AA championship in the National Enduros as well. Like I said, Henderson's been over there before, and then Trevor Maley doing well, putting in strong rides at various points this year in the 250A class, the GNCCs, as well as the National Enduro Championships. So watch for that team. That is the Missouri Mudders team. Cade Henderson, Jack Walker, and Trevor Maley. The Steve Hatch Racing POTM team. Steve Hatch, a longtime veteran of the ISDE. He hasn't raced it in a number of years, but he did very well when he raced back in the 90s for USA. So it's nice that Steve Hatch is part of the program. Hunter Smith, Jackson Davis, Chase Bright. I think Bright might have raced it last year, if memory serves me correctly. I could be wrong on that. If I am, then it's a brand new team. It's a complete team of rookies, and we wish those guys the best. This event isn't easy, but the one thing that I've expressed to people in the past when I've gone over there is take it all in. Good, bad, take it all in. Enjoy the experience. You're getting to travel the world racing a motorcycle, so very cool on that front. The Elizabeth Scott Community Team, John Beal, Rick Emerson, Jeremy Schoening. Beal and Emerson have done this race in the past. I can't remember exactly if Schoening has raced it before, but even so, great group of guys on the 40 plus team. That's our Elizabeth Scott Community Team, usually our 40 plus club team. And Beal, like I said, Beal and Emerson have done this race in the past. Beal actually raced Loretta Lynn's during the summer, so he's got the motocross speed underneath him. So, there's no individual 40 plus classification, but we do this, the AMA sets this team up as, a way for the older guys to be a part of it. And so good luck to those guys, John Beal, Rick Emerson, and Jeremy Schoening. And then finally, as far as the club classification teams go, the XC Gear team, this is the defending club championship team from last year in France. This is the XC Gear team, like I said. Josh Toth, Ryan Surratt, Austin Serpa, all 3 guys experienced with ISDE, and they'll be in the mix for that overall club classification. Josh Toth, along with Ben Kelly and Jason Clammer, were 2nd overall club team years ago in Spain as part of the Trail Jesters team. I was there to witness it, documented. You can check out that video from the whole event on the Trail Jesters YouTube page. But then Surratt, his first 6 days was last year, I believe. I think he's done 6 days in the past. And then I know Serpa's done it in the past. I've been over with him in the past. I believe Chile was his first one, or it might have been Portugal. But either way, an experienced team, a fast team, they will be in contention for the overall club classification honors. And that's going to do it for this team update, guys. That's who to watch for. Check out the live timing link. I'll put it in the description below if it is available. If not, it will be available Sunday or Monday. But yeah, that's all the information that I have. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. I'll try answering for you. I'll try to provide updates throughout the week like this and let you know what's going on with everybody. Follow along with accounts that are there doing social media, including Off-Road Paparazzi. I haven't seen anything from our AMA US ISDE Instagram page. I don't know if anybody's running it over there, but if you know mechanics over there, or if you know riders or family members that are on social media that might be documenting it, go follow them. Otherwise, I'll provide updates when I can. Once again, Argentina, I didn't mention this before, but Argentina is actually an hour or 2 hours behind East Coast time over here in the United States. So we're actually getting up before they're starting, which is a vast contrast to when it's over in Europe. So, but good luck to all the riders over at ISD. Good luck to our USA riders. Be safe. Have fun, guys. and we'll see you after 6 days.